Hey folks, Twisha Christian here. Today, I want to bring you guys another Iraqi dinar prophecy that I came across. As many of you know, I had my own that I had a long time ago, dealing with Iraq at 1 to 1, $3.22 to 1, and $5 to 1. For the longest time, we've been trying to break down some type of prophetic timeline concerning the Iraqi dinar. Basically came to the conclusion that when things seem at their worst, the prophecy concerning Kim Clement is when we're going to see the dinar revalue. And we've heard different prophetic words concerning the stock markets, how low the Dow is going to get, a lot of other trouble going on with Israel and a battle and a war that's going to take place there. And Kim Clement said when things seem at their worst, that's when we're going to see the revaluation where we go in and exchange the currencies at the bank. Before I go any further, folks, I'm not a financial advisor. I'm just bringing and sharing information and giving my thoughts and my opinion on that information. And if you guys like these videos that I make, the support links are down below in the description and also the About section. All right, so we know recently that Iraq was removed from Chapter 7. The sanctions, they completed their last payment on January the 13th. All right, so we have that news. With this news, we know that Iraq is on the right track to do what they are going to do eventually, which is revalue their currency. And we've heard prophetic words from Prophet Robin more recently as far as the Iraqi dinar is going to revalue soon. He said he saw it a little bit under $1. We also know that MasterCard is working with the Iraqi government concerning some type of help with their digital currency. So I do believe that a Iraqi dinar central bank digital currency is coming. All right, so the video that I'm going to play for you, his name is Kevin Drake. He had a vision that he shared, and so I want to share it with all of you and give you some thoughts and opinions on this because gold is also involved in this too as well. The link will be down below in the description. And then this was put out on January the 28th of 2022.
And that's what this channel is all about, to encourage you that as you get this wealth as a racehorse, you run with it for Jesus and you hold to it and you use every dime of it for the Lord Jesus so that you will meet with reward and not shame for how you've behaved when he made you wealthy. Okay? So here we go. Dead whales come alive on Iraqi golden oil. Praying with my prayer partner off the coast of Africa on a tropical island of Mauritius. I was on WhatsApp, but she was on the island of Mauritius and still is, my dear friend, Ghislaine. I had a vision after asking the Lord to show us something to encourage us on the investment, which my friend sewed $200 in a couple times, not even knowing what the dinar was until 10 years later, just recently, she found out what she had invested in. She actually had dreams 3 years ago, seeing the dinar, not knowing what it was. The red 25,000 dinar note and the 1,000 beige gold dinar note. My prayer partner saw that, I think in 2017, didn't know what it was. She found them on the ground, and then she had a dream of me handing her all these American dollars that we're going to exchange for in an envelope. So anyway, I had a vision of me and two friends. I'll call him Lynn and John. That's not their real names. Standing on a platform made of 2x4s that was secured on the back of two large whales. I was standing in the middle with Lynn to my right and John to my left. We each had water ski handles in our hands as we balanced on the wood beam that was harnessed and secured to two giant whales. Now this vision was like an open vision, like I was there, not like I was just seeing a movie, but it was like this was happening. The whales were almost dead, but were being towed by ropes by a huge oil tanker marked Iraqi oil. On the wide side of an old creaky, rusted out but very full cargo or oil tanker. I saw how lifeless the whales were and noticed markings on their sides saying U.S. government and U.S. Treasury. I then saw life support hoses like divers' air hoses with breathing mouthpieces being brought out by an invisible hand. I saw that golden oil, instead of air, was being pumped into the two dying whales. They must have loved the golden oil, as right after they were hooked up to it and oil began flowing into them, the big whales' lifeless bodies began to come alive, and they began to kick their tails with much power. Then I saw them blow out bursts of gold coins. I saw birds flying all over the place in the air, seagulls with wicker baskets catching all the gold coins. Then I saw them taking them to lifeboats that were yellow, blow-up round ones filled with air. I saw many of my friends in those lifeboats, and they were waiting on me. They were tired and thirsty and about out of energy to wait any longer. As the gold coins were dropped into the lifeboats via the baskets, I saw an oasis island with many of my friends having a party. I saw a stake in the ground with the head of Medusa on the end of a wooden pole near the volleyball sand court. I saw everyone having a roasted pig and pina colada and a dance party. Not a wild drunken fest, but just a party to celebrate that they had gotten out of that lifeboat as they were sitting in the middle of the ocean being burnt up by the sun. I saw everyone happy and then be sent out to various lands to work. At the end, I looked back and was able to see the Iraqi oil tanker from a far distance, and I did see an invisible pyramid cloaked unseen. From bottom to top, I could see a capstone made of pure gold, and it was marked 900 metric tons. Interesting, as the Iraq CBI last admitted in March that they had 90 metric tons of gold. So maybe they admitted to having 10% of what they actually have. That's what I wrote. Maybe they admitted to 10% of what they really have to back this rebirthing. Interesting that the two dead whales marked U.S. government and U.S. Treasury were being pulled by the Iraqi oil tanker, and they only came back alive when the golden oil hoses were attached to their dead, lifeless carcasses. Man, did those tails have power to kick when they were lubed with the golden Iraqi oil. I wrote, anyone who thinks man can make up such a creative, brilliant vision is blind to where this originated from, which is the heart and mind of God, sent to us who pray and cry out, how long, Father? How long? Share this with any friends who need encouragement and remind them I got into this by a dream, revelation of the IQD, and Father is the author and finisher of our faith, and all who believe they're into this for reasons to do His will and help others. So, that's the vision. If you want a copy of that, write me at aquastonetrading@yahoo.com, and I'll send you a copy of that, okay? But if it comes from my turquoise heart email, please don't email me at that one, because I use that one for other things. Now I'm going to tell you about a dream that came from my new friend, Julian. He has an American missionary friend stationed in the Philippines serving the Lord. And this American missionary had a dream last night or the night before. So here it goes. I had a Dinar dream. I had a vision just after going to bed, and I would guess about 1 hour after I went to sleep. In the vision, the dinar gained value on the 19th of February. Then later, probably 4 hours later, I dreamed the dinar went to $8 a share. While you were there, the money changer said, wait, it's going up again. So I guess this American missionary stationed in the Philippines serving the Lord that Julian told me does not have dinar, dreamed about the dinar, and what's really interesting, he called it $8 a share. Because when I used to tell people about the dinar and try to get people to pay me as a consultant to share all this information, I wouldn't give it away, and most people wouldn't want to listen. I'd say, if you buy it for $1,200 per million, you'll probably get $3 to $4 per share. I would call it a share, because that's exactly what this is. It's not stock, but you're buying in to 900 metric tons of gold, 149 to 249 billion barrels of oil, whichever website and reports are correct. 2 to 3 million barrels a day. It's going to take forever to pump that oil out. So that was an upgrade, in my opinion, from the Lord. Meaning, I ask you guys, can you believe for $7 per dinar? And if you'll wait 6 weeks, there's going to be a week time. That's what I feel like I've been shown. If I'm wrong, forgive me. The Lord will have to lead us all, because I'm not your God and I'm not your financial advisor. I'm just a prophetic voice crying out in the wilderness, trying to serve and have a ministry here and a business.
All right, folks, that's a very interesting vision and dreams concerning the Iraqi dinar. So the first one dealt with the 2 dead whales in the Iraq oil tanker and the whales labeled U.S. government and U.S. Treasury Department, right? And when they were filled with the golden Iraqi oil, they came to life. So that, again, when I say that when things seem at their worst, we see a decline in the world economy, in the United States economy, where things really seem really bad with all the events going around the world. When the Iraqi dinar revalues, it's going to bring life back into the government and back into the U.S. Treasury. And so that's what we look for, is we look for Iraq to increase in its oil production. And I've also shared, folks, about Saudi Arabia. Remember, I showed you guys the chemical net prophecies about Saudi Arabia, and they might be just taken out of the oil game. You know, maybe not completely, but enough where Iraq has to step up. So as he saw the tanker go off, he saw an invisible pyramid, and at the top of it was a gold capstone, and it was 90 metric tons. So basically 900 metric tons of gold Iraq is supposed to have, right? And that's what he was saying that we were investing in. Either Iraq is not sharing that information, or this deals with just an estimate of what could be in the ground in Iraq. But that remains to be seen. So I was doing some research. This article's back from 2012. Iraq aims to increase gold production. So it just says that they have all these mining facilities all over the place, and that they plan on increasing their gold production. Right now, this is the thing though. Every article that I could find concerning Iraq and gold, none of them show like, okay, this is how much they potentially might have for gold reserves that are in the ground. So you guys want to do your research. I spent a lot of time trying to find any information that would give me that kind of number, that they were potentially able to even mine 900 tons of gold. This article right here says Iraq has a number of significant diamond and gold reserves, and the country hopes to increase its production of gold. That was back in 2012. Right, then I go back here to this article that's September 5th, 2015. Same thing. And they're just talking about Iraq's strategy for increasing the production of gold. In this article here from January 27th, 2021, ancient Sumerian gold deposits mining in modern day Iraq. Same thing. So once again, they have gold mining facilities all over Iraq, right? But there's nothing is telling you anything. They just talk about recent gold discoveries, but they're not telling you any type of information of how much gold, or maybe how much gold ore, or anything like that. So we know right now Iraq only has about 96.4 metric tons of gold. So if that 90 metric tons represents the top of the pyramid, and the rest of the pyramid would also be gold, but it's not being shown to us. They haven't announced anything like that. So that's one thing, another thing that we're going to be looking for. I just couldn't find anything relating to that. And I know that Iraq was filled with ancient gold. So we don't really truly know what they've all came across. Remember, they went through a war, and then now you have this current government, And I think it would be very hard to keep that under wraps, right? So all that remains to be seen. When you talked about the golden oil, maybe it has to do with gold and oil. I think Iraq is going to be in a different position in the future when it comes to oil, to where they'll be like the number 3 exporter and maybe the number 1 exporter in the region itself. So 900 metric tons of gold. That's what we would be in. That's what he was saying, that we are investing in that. So 900 would put them above Japan, right? And they would be 8th on the list. So you guys tell me what you think about that. And if you guys find some research on that, and what we're looking for is Iraq gold ore, or anything that deals with any type of hidden gold. You know, they might have that much gold somewhere, but according to this prophetic vision, that Iraq at some point is going to boast with having maybe an additional 900 metric tons of gold. So maybe at some point we'll get that news. And maybe the gold will come later on after the revalue. The possibility of maybe when I saw it go from 1 to 1, and then 322 to 1, and then 5 to 1, and then it came back down. And maybe at some point they'll release this information that will boost the Iraqi dinar up to $8 per dinar. If you guys remember, several years ago, I was coming across information about gold and the Iraqi dinar, and I made a couple videos about it. The dinar will be backed by gold, gold-backed IQD, past proves future. So maybe it's a combination of not just the oil, but also the gold too as well. And he did say it is like we are investing in Iraqi oil when we were buying their currency and investing in their gold. And after the whales came back to life, right, they bursted out with gold coins, and birds were coming to pick them up, and what they're doing, giving it to people that were on the lifeboat, right? And then there was an island, and his friends and other people were on the island, and they were celebrating. Then Medusa's head, whatever a spirit that was there, had been killed. Then after that, then the people dispersed among the world to do work, right? And that's what we're supposed to do with our investments, right? Whether you get it from the dinar or anywhere else. But by the time that we get to the dinar revaluation, many of you should already be in a very well off position. At the moment that the Iraqi dinar is given as a provision, then you're going to go out to do the work. He's talking about the $8 a share, right? And the person has said that it kept going up. Right, and he said that it would increase in value around February the 19th. On February the 22nd, just a few days ago, Iraq was removed from Chapter 7 sanctions after its compensations to Kuwait. The Iraqi dinar value did increase, and it didn't increase maybe not so much in the numbers, but in the way that we look at it as far as the value of the dinar, because we are one step closer. 5 years ago, when everything had gone to hell with ISIS and all that, you didn't look at your dinar as being very valuable. And now that we're in this next phase, in this next step, now the way that I look at my dinars is that I feel that it's more valuable now than it ever has been, because we're almost there. So very interesting vision, and $8 a share, folks. That's one thing that I think about, like, how long is the Iraqi dinar government going to allow these notes to be out there, right? And will they launch a central bank digital coin? And will we be able to trade that? Well, just imagine a central bank digital coin that you can go trade on, like Coinbase, Bittrex, or Gate, Kraken, or any other major platform. I believe that could be a possibility because of MasterCard working with the Iraqi government. So anyways, guys, I thank you guys for listening. God bless. TC out.